Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned to Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here it's not just about fixing the cars, it's about keeping you rolling and saving you money and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to those what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Motormouth's Morning Drive, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We're in the driver's seat, and we're going to shift this thing into drive. Well, a big good morning to you if you're just rolling out of the driveway and heading for the drive-through. It is hump day. We have made it to the middle of the week, and we're going to crest and go over and head closer to the weekend. How do you feel about that now? Great. So what does that mean? It means that you better double check, flip-dipple check your drive-through order this morning, because things happen on Wednesdays. That's what I know. On hump day, things happen. So batten down the hatches. We've got our morning swiggy coming up in just a few moments, and the daily weather. And I'll tell you, I've been peeking. I think we're going to get the 30-day fuel savings challenge in. I really do. We have some really decent weather coming up. I think we might be able to get our lawns dried out by before the 1st of July. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we've got some things in our favor. So this morning's topic, braking performance. It's not an option. It's not optional. So I'm going to break that out for you. I've got 5 things when it comes to your vehicle's braking system that you really need to know and to pay attention to. These are items that if you brought me your vehicle this morning to the Car Connection workshop, it's going to get the 5-step brake evaluation sheet. Full evaluation. But there's 5 things that I specifically want you to consider, because braking performance is not optional, folks. And we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. So get your 16-pack of Crayola crayons, your leaf bag. We just got a fresh stack. They're looking good. And that's our Car Connection laptop. So your crayons, your leaf bag, you have everything you need to take down this morning's information. And if you miss it, we've got it all prepared for you on the homepage of our website. That is where everything we talk about here in the podcast and on all the platforms. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Podbean, and wherever you're pulling your podcast from, we are there. And then they're populate into our YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're looking to get that percentage down. We're at about 86% right now. Of you are really enjoying the videos, and we've come a long way since the first dozen videos. I have to say, I go back and I have a look myself, and it's like anything else. You really don't want to see yourself in photos or on video or even on a talk show as a guest. Did you listen to yourself? Oh, I don't want to do that. That's usually what I would hear from my guest. Do you want to take a copy home with you? No. They're just, people are afraid to hear yourself. But anyways, you can catch everything on our YouTube channel and learn 5 things there always on every single video. And that is what it is, where it is, how it works, how you broke it. I mean, how it broke. And what are some of the basic things that you could have learned to prevent from having to break something because you didn't know how it worked really, and cost yourself money. Not good. So that's why I'm here. If you have an older vehicle, you want to keep it as long as you possibly can. And remember this, mileage doesn't matter, maintenance does. That's the story. Anything outside of that is nothing but horse pucky and poppycock and boulder dash. Yeah, all of those things and then some, and a diet soda. So remember, mileage does not matter. Maintenance does. So if you own an older automobile, you are in great shape. And if that vehicle is solid and it's structurally sound, you are in much better condition than someone that has a brand new model. Yes, because there's lots of challenges out there. I'm not going to get into the political woes of the car manufacturers. Why? They've been doing the same darn thing since like the early 90s. And now they've caught themselves up in profitability is more important than providing quality of products at fair prices. That's the formula. I don't know why CFOs and CEOs and all those other O's can't figure that out. But you know what? We hold the key to their success. And what is that? If you don't like the flavor, go somewhere else. That's exactly what I say. You know, as my military boss would say, if you don't like it, leave. That's it. If you don't like the job, go do something else. And that's the same in the automotive world. You don't like the flavor you're driving, it's a nothing but a headache constantly, then get rid of it. Get out of it. Get over it, round it, through it, under it. Because right now, I would tell anyone who's shopping for a vehicle to head on over to City Auto Sales and Leasing, where they provide low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. Grab yourself something no older than 2020. Stay at least 6 years back. Grab it, love on it, take care of it, maintain it. You'll be further ahead than dealing with the woes of the manufacturers that have been bringing on their world of hurt to themselves for a long time. And when the only thing that will make them change, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, the only thing that will get them to change is when they see that they're losing market share, that you're saying, I'm sick and tired, fed up and disgusted of this flavor. It's always a headache. They're worth $1.99 by the time I finish paying for it. I'm out of here. And go try another flavor. And whatever that is, all I can suggest is as a tech for over 4 decades, do your homework. Have a look around. Listen to the ground. Ask people who have one before you own it and go, man, this thing's worse than what I had before. And I've heard that conversation a million times. So maybe we'll crack this open a little later on, but not today. Today we're talking about braking performance it's not optional. So let's jump into our morning swiggy. We want to thank our program sponsors, and I like to call them program partners because they have partnered with Car Connection for a very long time, and we are blessed to have them here. They're the ones that made it possible to switch from radio to digital after 31 years. And yeah, I'm still learning the curve of the digital, but I'm getting there. And I'm willing to learn. And some of the stuff is kind of like, I'd like to just, whack my knee with a hammer. It would be less painful, but I'm sticking with it like a postage stamp till it gets there. And that's what you have to do with vehicle maintenance, is don't do some, then do nothing. Then do a little more and do nothing. The on-off switch doesn't work. It's got to be continuity. Keep that vehicle in top drawer condition and don't let it get away from you. And you know what? You'll be living life large because you don't have car stress. And even we've been shooting videos on our 2007 FJ Cruiser. Everything at the front is tight and right. Cooling system, braking system, suspension, steering, hoses, belts, all that stuff has all been checked, inspected, and updated and upgraded as required. Now we got to flip it around and check and see what's going on. If there's anything going on at the back other than just needing a brake service, and out the door we go. We are ready to face the summer and get the work done that vehicle gets done for us. And that's our trailer hauler, not a camper trailer, a work trailer. That's right. When I'm hooked on the trailer, that means there's more work being done. And we have a lot of things stacking up on us, and we need the hauler to get that done. So stick around for that. We've put all the videos. I've got 5 more to edit, so we're right into about halfway into June with our series, and then we have a new series coming in behind that. So stick around for that. Everything you need, you'll find available to you on the homepage of our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Our program partners are there. Click on their logo and meet them, and thank you for giving them your support, because we need them, and without them we would not be here. It's that simple. It's like anything. There has to be partners, whether it's sports teams, radio, any kind of talk radio or television or whatever it is. There has to be program partners to make that program fly. It's that simple. So let's have our morning swiggy. Again, our homepage of our website is where everything we talk about, all our links are there. Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca, our iHeartRadio icons there, so that'll take you right to our podcast platform. But you can find us on any platform. Just type in Car Connection Workshop. That's it, and you'll find us. And that is where our merch is available to you. On our website store is in the top right-hand corner too. So we have our online store available to you. All merchandise purchase proceeds go to Total Freedom Addiction campuses in Canada and USA. Skippy and I want to stand with those who made the decision. Today's the day to deal with that addiction, whatever it is. Get through it, under it, round it, over it, and get a new life. Say goodbye to that addiction. We want to do everything that we can to help them get there, to get that dealt with. You cannot do it on your own. I've heard that many times. I can do this. No, you can't, because if you could, it wouldn't be 20 years you're still doing the same thing, right? If you can do it, why haven't you done it? That's the whole thing. All right, let's have our swiggy this morning. You got your beverage ready? We do it on 3, 2, 1. You ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was awesome. What are you having this morning? Drop that in an email. motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. What's your favorite morning swiggy? What's your morning flavor? What is it your go-to Monday through Saturday? And a reminder, Friday is coming. So if you have a car question, I need you to email that to me before noon on Friday, if you wouldn't mind. That would be really, really good, so I can get you into the slot. And then I pick 3, what I think are the 3 of the best out of the pile. And I cover that on Saturday's Q&A, 1 hour Q&A, questions and answers. So you got to have your questions in by Friday, and don't be shy. It's motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com or Niall@ccbusnet.com. And that information is always included in the descriptions on our YouTube. Excuse me. I got a morning frog thing. On our YouTube channel, all the videos there. We get 3 videos up every week. Yesterday was Tuesday. 2 brand new videos have gone up. So if you're not subscribed and you're not ringing the notification bell, you're missing a lot of car tips. And I just want to remind folks, if you're joining us for the first time, our YouTube channel is not about building muscle cars, monster cars, all that stuff. I've done that for many, many years. It's time to teach. It's time to show you how you can save money and own and operate an older automobile just like I do. It's called maintenance. Mileage doesn't matter. Maintenance matters. On everything we have at our fingertips, if you don't take care of it, you're always doing the trading time for money thing, home to work, and buying the same things over and over and over again. So let's say thank you to Earl Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing, our premier pre-owned automotive store in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. If you or someone you know is looking for an automobile, that's where you need to go. City Auto Sales and Leasing. Low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. And I'll tell you, Earl Louise, they're car guys. They've been in the business for 25 years. They have resources to find just about any automobile out there. So if they don't have it, if there's a decent one out there and Earl says, yeah, that fits the bill, then they'll get it for you. They will bring that in just for you. So keep in mind, anywhere you can go where you're treated like family and you can buy with confidence and with nothing less than honesty and integrity, that's the place you want to buy a car from. That you know they're not selling you junk. And that's important. You don't want to jump out of something that's already junk into somebody else's junk. That just turns into a headache. So let's say thank you to Earl and Louise Grant for doing what they do and for over 25 years, providing low mileage quality vehicles at fair prices. 58 degrees right now. I've been outside. It's curb day today. Yeah, everything's there, neat and tidy with a bow on it, ready to go. Wind is making it feel cooler, about 55 degrees, partly cloudy conditions from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. with mostly sunny conditions expected at 9 a.m. So today's temperature range is going to get us to 58 to 74 degrees. It's going to feel a little more with the wind, 54 to 73. Hey, that's doable, wouldn't you think? The high for today is 74. Yesterday, we hit a balmy 77. Precipitation, we have a 0. We have a 0 on that. Perfect. We're getting there. We're going to get this 30-day challenge, fuel savings challenge thing done. And if you don't know what that is, if I coach you and you do what I tell you to do, which is what I've been doing for over 4 decades anyway. So giving up my secrets, bare minimum, you're going to save $100 a month in fuel. You don't realize it, but you're wasting a lot of money, trading time for money, going to your job and putting it in the fuel tank. With a few adjustments, you could even, if you do the second 30-day challenge, because it's a 2-part, you could double that and make it $2,400 a year savings in fuel wasted. You're wasting more fuel than you can imagine. So just by me pointing out some of those areas where you make a subtle change and all of a sudden your monthly fuel bill for your car is going the other way. It's going down instead of up. We can't do anything about the price of the fuel. But if we're using less, it puts money in our pockets, right? Amen to that. Anything we can do to shave some savings right now is a really great idea. And learning how to take care of your older automobile and having a maintenance plan, whether you grab one of our Car Connection fleet maintenance systems, you need something to be your roadmap. That's what you need to keep you on track with vehicle maintenance so you don't fall too far behind and get discouraged because now you got a ginormous repair bill. And that doesn't need to happen. And we don't need to ignore things on our vehicles and then that turns into something bigger. Usually bigger, hairy, and scary. So $200 repairs, I can't tell you the number of those I've seen go by the wayside and it turns into a $5,000 repair very quickly. And I have to have that discussion when someone says, well, how did this happen? And here's how it would always start. Well, if you had brought it in sooner, it wouldn't have cost you this much money. It's called cause and effect. And it happens all the time. So we do have our fleet maintenance system available to you on our website. We have a super special going right now for those who are subscribed to our YouTube channel. There's savings for you. So check that out on our website. There's a whole page dedicated to our Car Connection fleet maintenance system. If you can follow a grocery list, you can certainly follow along our fleet maintenance system and track your vehicle maintenance, keeping you on course. And it's reusable. It's environmentally safe and doesn't harm pets, and it's friendly to the environment because you can use it over and over and over again. So how long would your car last if you actually followed a proper maintenance plan? And what we're talking about this morning is on there. It is on that maintenance plan so that it's all written out for you ahead of time, just like a grocery list. Follow the grocery list, put a check mark or an X or a heart, whatever you want in the box that indicates, yes, I've done that. Boom. Move on to the next one. When you get to the end of the month, you start the next month. And when you get to the end of the year, you erase it all off and start back at the new month, being January. That's how easy it is. But all that is there for you on our website, so you can take a look at the system yourself, how it's all set up, and there's special pricing again for those who are subscribed to our YouTube channel. And there's well over 400 items for you to visit on our YouTube channel right now. And thank you to all of you who are supporting us there, liking, sharing, following, leaving a comment, and also make sure that you ring the notification bell so that you're notified when the new videos come out, so you don't miss any automotive tips and tricks whatsoever. Okay, number one this morning, I promised you 5 things you need to know to prevent from not having braking performance, because braking performance is not optional. Number one, we want to make sure that all the brake lines are in good working order. That means we don't have any rusty, crusty brake lines that are about ready to say, see ya, and the brake pedal goes to the floor. So I like to look at that first, because that can be an expensive item that we need to take care of, but it's something that you don't say, well, it should be okay. No. If it's rust, if the lines are showing indicators where they're fastened, that's usually where it happens. If you're not big on rust proofing and rust protection, then your vehicle is the one who loses its brake lines long before my own. And that doesn't mean, rust protection is going to save it 100%, because this liquid road salt, the road brine, is absolutely brutal. The corrosion it brings on is crazy. And if your vehicle's not protected with a rust-proofing product that neutralizes the acids from road salt, road brine, right now has been the perfect recipe for rust to develop very quickly. And as the engineers that designed that product, they spray on the road here in the Niagara region and in and around Canada, wickedly corrosive. And it sure is. So if your vehicle's not protected underneath, as a tech, I'm definitely going to be having a really good look at all the steel brake lines, and where the brake lines fasten to the flexible brake lines, that's where they tend to get rusted and corroded and get crusty. And we need to take care of that. We need to make sure that when you hit that brake pedal, say in an emergency braking situation, fella pulls out in front of you and you got to hammer the brake down. Want to make sure that a brake line doesn't pop because it's rusted and it's weak, and the pedal goes to the floor and you end up hitting the guy anyway. So we do not want that to happen. So we want a thorough inspection of all brake lines, front to back, from the driver's wheel to the passenger wheel to the driver's side rear, passenger side rear. We want to make sure that every single brake line connection is good and that the lines are solid, so that I can look at you and say, you got great hydraulic pressure. Why, thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Number 2, whether your vehicle is equipped with disc brakes or disc drum combination. That's what I was trying to get out there. We don't see a lot of drum brakes as much anymore. Most vehicles are 4-wheel disc brake systems. Sometimes I feel like the drum brakes had a lot more stopping power than some of these rear disc brake systems, but they are getting better. They have designed some quirky ones, but they are getting a little bit better. Not a lot, just a little. So whether your vehicle is a combination of disc brakes and drum brakes or 4-wheel disc all the way around, we need to know the condition. We need to know the condition of all 4 brakes. all the way around. Because here's the thing. When you have that emergency braking situation, you're coming out of the drive-through and somebody cuts you off, or, you're in the Big W store parking lots. My pet peeves are parking lots. They are disorganized chaos. You're driving through the parking lot and there's no arrows or anything to follow, but there's people coming and going from all directions and all speeds in the parking lot. That's generally where you can get into an emergency braking situation. A vehicle comes flying out of nowhere and next minute it's right in front of you. So we want to make sure that you have equal braking on all four wheels. We don't want unequal braking. That's where some of the brakes are working, but not all of the brakes are working together. And that's what I discovered. If you want to watch those videos on our 2007 Toyota FJ Cruiser, the last time I did the brakes on the front, it stopped no problem. Just that the pads were worn out, the rotors were getting rough and rotted. And that salt brine is the big contender. Just beats the crap out of your braking system. I'm telling you, it is a rough product. And your braking system's wide open to all that road splash. And this time of year, two things for that salt brine to turn into acid and really corrode your vehicle. You ready for it? Warmth and moisture. That's how the rusties take off. So if you can't use a rust-proofing product that has neutralizers to neutralize the acids from the road salt, then those two items in the recipe create mega rusties and crusties. Moisture and warmth. And we've been having both. And so that's when rust extremely takes off. So disc or drum, four-wheel discs, we need to know the condition of all four braking systems all the way around. So we need to get the wheels off this time of year, and let's have a really good look. And that's how I discovered this year in my spring evaluation on the FJ Cruiser. Finally found why I lost the stopping power that I had prior to the last set of brakes on the front a few years back. Only half the caliper was working on the front on both sides, and I replaced them at that time. They were done. They were seized up. They were partly seized, partly working, partly not. And after doing the front brakes, I just felt like I did not have the stopping power that I had prior to on the old brakes. So now, doing the evaluation in 2026, I discovered what has been going on right from day one. We thought to blame the ceramic brake pads, that there were no longer metallic pads available for my year, make, and model of the FJ Cruiser. And that's what's been happening. It's an environmental thing. Been getting away from full metallic, semi-metallic brake pads that gave you lots of stopping power, but they chewed up your brake rotors pretty good. It's like having files on there. But that wasn't the case. It wasn't the braking power changed because the material the brake pads are made of. Is that the calipers that I bought at the time, only half of each caliper on both sides was actually working. So I really only had 50% stopping power. So that's why we're talking about brakes today. It's the perfect time because you are going to be doing some kind of traveling over the summer. And you are going to get into a lot of stop and go traffic. And where all of a sudden you're in a 4-lane parking lot and it opens up and everybody's now flying down the highway. Then the brake lights come on again and everybody's standing on it to get your vehicle stopped. You definitely want to know that you have a solid braking system with equal braking all the way around. That's when you really need it. If you got a trailer on the back, you're toting a load, the vehicle's loaded up. You need all the stopping power you can get. Period. It's not optional. And at that point, you'll discover, yeah, it's not optional. Just because the brake pedal is there and you can feel it doesn't mean that, here's the thing, that does not mean, folks, that everything's okay. That's the point I'm trying to make this morning. It's just because you climb in, you press that, that first stop as you're leaving your driveway, I got brakes. Just because the brake pedal is there and you can feel that there's something going on, that doesn't mean that all four wheels are working perfectly, friends. It doesn't. It just means that you've got hydraulic pressure. But that doesn't give you a big check mark saying brakes, okie dokie. No, they're not. I can tell you now, if I went over to the Big W store and I handpicked 10 vehicles, that 9 of them have brake problems. Because here's the thing. You don't wait to do brakes when there's nothing left. It's called a brake inspection, evaluation. That's what prevents you from having a ginormous repair bill. Is you don't just do a brake job today, just like I have to the FJ Cruiser, and I don't touch it for the next 5 years or 3 years, or for many of you, you go through brakes like every 18 months. And just take a look at your driving habits, and that'll explain why. Yeah, the stop and go thing doesn't work. It's costing you all a lot of money. You won't believe how much money that's costing you. That style of driving, you're breaking the bank yourself. So we need to know the condition of the disc brakes all the way around, or if it's a disc brake and drum combination system, we need to see everything and visually take a look at all the moving components and see where we're at. Number 3, condition of pads and brake shoes. Again, if it's a disc drum combination, you've got brake pads and you've got brake shoes. If it's 4-wheel disc, you got brake pads all the way around. What are the condition of the pads? And they tell a huge story. Just looking at the pads and saying, well, there seems to be a lot of pad left. What I'm looking for are the pads evenly worn. Is the outside brake pad thinner than the inboard brake pad, or vice versa? Do I see the brake pads are thicker at the top, thinner at the bottom? Those are indicators that things aren't working right. If the brake pad on the outside and the inside of the disc brake rotor sitting inside the caliper, and everything I'm talking about, you can watch videos right now on our YouTube channel that show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because I said to Skippy, let's shoot this brake job on the front of the FJ Cruiser, because there's much bigger components and you can see things super clearly. So it gave us a really good screen to shoot doing a complete brake service and a brake job on the front of the FJ. So right now, everything I'm sharing with you, you can see that on our YouTube channel. The 2000, just click into the 2007 FJ Cruiser series. Right from the beginning, right from diagnosing what's been going on, and I haven't had full brakes for the last few years, to replacing everything, and here's how you do it. So if I'm looking at the condition of your brake pads, I'm looking for abnormal wear and tear. As I just mentioned, do I have a thicker pad on the outboard versus the inside? Do I have thicker brake pad at the top than the bottom? Or again, vice versa, it's thicker, the pads are thicker at the bottom than the top. That tells me right away we have a hydraulic system that's not working. Calipers aren't working right. They're either seized or the pins and bushings are seized. But the brake, that's telling me the brakes are not working. Just like a chiropractor can look at your shoes, how they're worn, and know what's going on with your alignment, your body alignment. And your shoes are a great indicator for if you go to a chiropractor to tell you you're not walking right, and you're not walking right, and your body's not aligned right. We need to fix that. Your four-wheel disc brake system is exactly the same. If I look at the pads and I see abnormal wear, I don't see all the brake pads worn exactly the same, I know the system's not working. Number 4. This is a killer, this one. How many are you using your parking brake every day? Whether you want to call it set brake, park brake, emergency brake, doesn't matter. How many are out there? How many of them are you? There you go. How many of you actually use your emergency brake, your parking brake every single day, every time you park the vehicle? Let me know in the email, because that plays a 100% part in the performance of the rear brakes. If you have a vehicle with a four-wheel disc brake system, not using your parking brake is not an option, because that is the little jewel that keeps the rear brakes adjusted so your front brakes don't get overheated. Should be using that parking brake, and I don't care who says it's an automatic, you don't have to. Yes, you do if you want the rear brakes to be working, and you don't want to have to replace everything in order to get the system working properly on the back. So I get into a brake job, and there are videos on our YouTube channel from last summer, and Skippy and I call it the Brake Nationals. I don't know how many ladies brought their vehicle to me to check it, and then we ended up, I provided the labor, they bought the parts, we shot the videos. How many rear braking systems were totally destroyed because no one ever was using the parking brake? And they ended up being rear brake gut jobs. Everything had to be changed. So you can watch those videos in detail and see exactly what I'm talking about. How that system works. Why the parking brake needs to be used every single time you park. You could swing by here and see if you can bust me on that. Every vehicle outside right now, you will find, whether it's a push type brake or a hand brake, the handle that you pull up, every single vehicle has a parking brake on right now, every time it's parked. So if I go from the driveway to wherever I'm going to, I put the parking brake on. It just creates you got to create that habit. It takes 21 days to make or break a habit. But here's the problem. Here's where it's costing you a ton of money. Every time we do a rear brake job for you and we get the parking brake working, and then from that day forward you never use it, you're into the same money again on the next rear brake job. It's a mess. And there's nothing I can do to make you use your parking brake. So that's an area of serious weakness, and I would say if I pick 9 vehicles, if I pick 10 vehicles, 9 of those, nobody's using the parking brake. And the rear brakes are a mess, and your front brakes are doing 90% of the braking. The rear brakes are there just for grins. I'd be pretty accurate on that one. Number 5. We need to know the condition of all the brake calipers all the way around. So if it's four-wheel disc, I need to have the calipers in my hand to give them a proper evaluation. Can we free up the pins and bushings that are seized, or do we need to replace the calipers? Are the pistons able to go back in their bore on the calipers nice and easy, or do I have to crank them back in? That tells me the calipers are no good. So any one of those things that is wear and tear. And again, I want to encourage you to go and look at those videos on our YouTube channel. I don't care what age group you are. If you have a vehicle and you're in charge of maintaining it, you're going to want to see those videos. Because then, it's difficult for me to tell you all the components that fail and why they fail when you don't even know what they are to look at. So that's the purpose of the YouTube channel, is you can see everything that I just talked about. The 5 things that I just talked about are all on videos, and you can see the breakdown, and then you can get a better understanding of why braking systems are more important than, well, I just had a brake job, I'm good for the next 5 years. That's not true. That's not maintenance. That's neglect. Braking systems take a lot of punishment out there on the roadways, and they require a lot of maintenance that saves you money. It's when you think that just because Joe Schmo is doing the brakes on your car today, you're good for the next 3 to 5 years. Then you're going to end up buying all of it again. And then when I replace it all for you, then you're going to end up buying all of it from scratch again. You don't need to do that. Brakes are not the system where we do a brake job, we run it until they grind. I'm going to get every last penny out of my brakes. Well, good for you. That's what I say to those people. I just say, well, good for you. You do that. I don't care. I really don't. What I care about is those who are willing to be taught. The do does and the did is done. For all the negative Nellies and the armchair warriors, I don't give them a breath. I do not pay a breath of attention to them because they're not interested. They want to be the big know-it-all, the big toad in the puddle. You can be the big toad in the puddle, fella. I don't care. You can say nasty stuff to me. I really don't care. I'm here for those who are willing to listen and do, willing to listen and learn and want to save money and own and operate an older automobile. So number 5 is all these components in the braking system need to be checked and verified and evaluated every 6 months, period. I've been doing that for over 4 decades. I check my brakes on everything that's going to go through the winter, that's gone through the summer, every 6 months. So it's spring and fall. Spring and fall. That's the pattern. If you keep that pattern, you know what? You can own and operate an older automobile until you're fed up with it. Until you go, you know what? I'm ready for something else, another flavor. And that's very much okay. So I hope you got something out of today's program. Again, there's a lot more detail involved to what I'm talking about on podcast on our YouTube channel, and you can easily navigate your way to the channel by going to the homepage of our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Top right-hand corner, all the platforms are there. Point, click, and engage. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us, like us, share us on Instagram and on Facebook. And our videographer, Skippy, she puts reels and outtakes and bloopers there that you won't see anywhere else. She puts some funny stuff there for you to entertain yourself at my cost. And that's very much okay. So thank you to our certified financial planners, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro. They are there for you if you need clarity to anything to do with finances. These are your guys. They're not going to take money from you. They're not going to sell you anything. They're going to listen to you when you book that hour and a coffee discovery meeting and figure out where you want to go and where you're at and how you're going to get there. So whether you have questions regarding investment portfolios, debt, you're carrying, estate planning, arranging a mortgage, life insurance, critical illness insurance, and a whole lot more services that I don't have time to mention are all available to you through my brothers from other mothers. Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, 50 years experience people, certified financial planning professionals, not advisors, certified financial planning professionals. They know all the tax laws, and it's not about what you make, folks. It's about what you keep. And so get your questions answered. So if you want clarity to your finances, that's where you're going to get it. So leave your wallet at home, your purse at home. That hour and a coffee discovery meeting, the guys are not going to sell you a single thing. But I'll tell you this, they don't need any more clients. They do this because they've been with me since 2007, helping many people through some very difficult financial situations. The best thing you can do is not listen to the white noise. People will always try and solve your problems, but you know what? You got to get the fruit from those who have it on the tree. and get that done. Thank you to Kathy, Dave, and Dan Grimo at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, for making today's podcast possible. Building Canada since 1931 with building supplies. They make so many different blocks there. They can put together any building for you anywhere on the planet. They got the metal, they got the rebar, they got the cement, they got hardscape landscaping materials, and they can create for you an English walkway, whatever it is you want to beautify the outside of your home or create that outdoor living space. They got it. And if you need a referral to a contractor, you speak to Kathy Grimo. She has a list, and she'll help you to find the contractor that can estimate, create, and build it for you so that you can enjoy it. So till tomorrow's Thursday already. We'll see you at 8 a.m. for another Motormouth Morning Drive. I hope you got something out of today's program. If some of it was way over your head, go watch the videos. That's the best advice I can give you, because you can see and visualize everything that I've just talked about in your braking system, because if you can't stop it and you can't steer it, folks, nothing else matters. You better turn the radio up so it drowns out your screaming. We'll see you tomorrow morning. So happy, healthy motoring. Keep it under 100. And peace, patience, and kindness always. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.